How do you feel about Arcane Persistence? Some people say that this Arcane is specifically for the health tanking Warframe play in the endgame because of how great the buff this Arcane provided. But what if I tell you that this Arcane did more than just being able the health tanking Warframe to go into the endgame? This is what we want to discuss in this video. So, what Arcane Persistence do? Basically, it has two functions. First, it can remove your shield. Secondly, when your armor reach up to 700, you can reduce the maximum damage you can take up to 500 per second. Now, I do not know how they calculate in the system or the code work, so I do not know how they want to distribute this 500 damage per second if, let's say, you have multiple shot or hit on you. But this also shows that when you're playing the LevelCap mission, where all the enemies can literally one-shot you, this will make sure that all the damage reduced to the only maximum of 500 per second, which makes it that even how tanking Warframe can play in this game. So this also means that when you're playing Warframe such as Inaros that literally don't have any saving method, this is absolutely a savior for Inaros and the others. Now, you may already heard many people keep saying about how great this Arcane was for health tanking Warframe in the LevelCap mission, and I will agree with that part because how great it was allowing the health tanking Warframe to play in the LevelCap. But what if I tell you that this is not only for the LevelCap missions only? Instead, for regular mission, health tanking Warframe can also make good use of it. The key here is that when you look at some people sharing about how great this Arcane was in the LevelCap mission, did you notice that they usually want to use Inaros and Nidus as the example? And what's the common here? Which is they don't have shield. And take a look back at what the Arcane Persistence does. Yep, in the very beginning, it just immediately takes out the shield. And this is what I think the real kickers comes in. When you're playing the health tanking build, what kind of mod that you usually want to use first? Is it strike, health, armor, damage reduction? No, I can tell you. For health tanking build, many people actually want to use Hunter Adrenaline. If you remember how Hunter Adrenaline used, then you know that it's actually quite useful in the health tanking build, all because you don't really need any kind of external way to gain energy. No equilibrium, don't need to rely on companion, nothing. All you need to do is just relying your own strength, which is the massive bulk on your health, to change it into energy. But if you have the experience, you know that when you're playing health tanking build, shield is actually your biggest enemy. Because if let's say you always forget or very lazy to change your companion from Sentinel or just taking off the Guardian mod, then you realize that when you're playing the health tanking build, especially when your weapon is a stateless weapon, then your Guardian will always keep proccing again and again, making that you're not playing health tanking build anymore. You're playing the shield gating build, and this is not what you want. And remember what Arcane Persistence do? Removing shield. This alone removes the biggest problem of your health tanking build. One thing to know is that Hunter Adrenaline exchange damage towards health into energy, which means you can consider this as the additional damage reduction. Just by this alone shows that this Arcane is actually more powerful than you think, especially for those health tanking Warframe that has shield. But you also have to remember that you have to make sure your own health tanking Warframe has high armor so that you can get the additional buff from the Arcane Persistence. But wait, there's more. Remember that when we have health tanking, shield tanking, we actually also have the energy tank build, more specifically on the Chroma. For those that who do not know this, energy tank is instead of relying on your health or shield, you're using energy as your main hit point to tank damage, but by relying on quick thinking mod. In our previous Chroma build, especially a Chroma Prime, we had a way to build it, but because of how finicky Vex armor was back in the day, it's really hard to make good use of it. But right now, everything changed and we have more and more mods came into it, just makes this build quite viable. And with the addition of this Arcane Persistence, I think everything will be good. Everything combining it together, what you can got, holy moly. I will only say that this energy tank build will literally tank almost everything in the normal gameplay. Now it's true that when using Arcane Persistence, without shield, you can't get armor stacking buff for your Vex armor. But remember, the new Vex armor can get stack buff through killing enemies, whether you're using melee kill or gun kill. In this case, using Arcane Persistence that removes shield, you need to use melee weapon to stack the armor buffs again. But for damage buff, don't worry, you're already exposing your health towards the enemy, so you already can get the damage buff immediately. And so, there you have it. I really think that Arcane Persistence is very strong. And it's not just only for the LevelCap mission, but regular mission also can make good use of it. More specifically for those any health tanking Warframe. Especially when the moment I realized that I have the energy tank build, I didn't expect that it was so tremendously great. Let's say that this Arcane really is a savior for the health tanking build where they keep struggling to live in the LevelCap mission. Yeah, you did a very good job, and I like this Arcane.
If this is your first time watching, why not leave a like and subscribe to my channel so that you won't miss out any news contents from me. Why not leave your comments down below if you got any ideas or thoughts you want to share with all of us. And that's it from me, and as always, I will see you all next time. Bye bye!